Argentina may have a reputation for dove hunting, but there is so much more to get your teeth into. Tim Pilbeam has fallen in love with this country and is back for a third South American hunting trip, looked after by Carlos, our Argentinian cameraman. This time, he and Carlos are travelling to the south of San Luis province. It boasts exceptional levels of game. Tim's travelled across the world for wild boar. The European alien invader is hugely successful wherever it lands. The pigs grow well in number and size on an omnivorous diet. Our host is Gustavo. He's in charge of this vast hunting area.
We are in the south of San Luis province, just beside La Pampa, which is a world-famous big game hunting area. We are in the Caldem forest that is unique in the world. This is a cattle ranch. It's 22,000 hectares.
Your ranch is quite flat, which is typical of the area, and as you say, you've got lots of bush.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is really, really good for hunting. Yeah?
It's really good because wildlife has a lot of places to hide and stay away from the civilization.
Yes, right. And over the years, you've managed to have lots of fairly open areas to encourage the wildlife. So it's not all thick bush, it's actually quite big open areas where you actually see the wildlife, yeah?
Yes.
His efforts maintain its extraordinary biodiversity.
What animals have you got here? What can people hunt on your ranch?
Here we have some red stags, black bucks, wild boars, really, really good ones, fallow deer, mouflons, different rams, and wing shooting too.
Okay, fine.
Tim is fascinated to hear how Gustavo runs this operation and how he can expect to hunt boar. The area is so large that driven boar is not an option.
We have different places, different ponds, different kind of bushes. You can see boars during the daylight, but to get one of the old ones, you have to work a lot. They are really, really hard to harvest.
Why?
Well, I think they became old because they are, so...
Wise, yes?
Yeah, maybe wise is the word.
Yeah.
If the whole group arrive to the pond earlier, they stay around in the bush, always in the shade, maybe for 2 or 3 hours, just watching and listening what happened. It's really hard.
So you have to be there a long time because they'll come out at the end of the evening or...
Yeah, and sometimes the challenge is against the animal, and sometimes the challenge is against yourself.
Indeed, that's right.
Because you need to stay awake, paying attention, and sometimes you get sleepy. So we need to read the situation. We need to read the whole place. We need to know the trails,
Okay.
the places that they use to arrive to the pond or to the bait. After that, we sit and wait, and we need to see all around, you know.
Yeah.
What is happening?
And the wind, I suppose the wind is...
The wind is very important, and what the other animals do, you know.
So I understand that pig have a very, very sensitive nose.
Yes.
And the hearing's good, but the nose
is terrific.
With a plan in mind, Tim just needs to zero his rifle and have a shot with Gustavo's Marlin 4570 with aim point acro red dot sight on top. With everything set, it's time to refuel, and they really know how to do that here. Gustavo does daily reconnaissance, as do the farm workers, to help locate the boar.
He's bit here. That's the back of it.
And can you see the round?
Yes.
The animals have used this waterhole a lot lately. They add corn to complete the dining experience.
Just a little bit.
With a good breeze in their faces, they construct a hide. It's not dissimilar to what we would set up for pigeons. They've chosen a place on the edge of the bush with good views either side. The only thing left to do is wait.
Gusto, okay, we're all set up in a blind. Tell me what happened. We've got a water hole about 50, 60 metres away. So, what do the pig do? Are they coming from side to side, do you think?
Yeah, they can come from both sides.
Okay.
We need to be careful with our movements.
Okay. I've got a civilised 3006, yep. But what the hell is that?
Well, this is 4570 with an endpoint scope, with a red dot.
Okay.
And it's pretty tedious. It's a big shark.
Yeah. And you've shot lots of pigs with it, have you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots.
Yeah,
So,
it's a big knock.
so you're my backup. You're my wingman, are you?
Yeah. I will try to do my best.
Okay, let's see what we can do then, yeah.
As the sun sets, the incredible birdsong keeps them entertained. After an hour, the cows come to drink. This is good news. The more relaxed the cows are, the more relaxed the pigs will be. The full moon on display will make life easier. We can spot and record the action with Tim's Pulsar Axion Thermal, but he's shooting with a normal scope. Piggy silhouettes will help identify what's in front of them. As the temperature drops, the Axion picks out a lone boar. Its tail is high and stiff. It's nervous. As the pig drinks and eats the corn, it relaxes and the tail drops. Tim prepares for a shot. As he pulls the trigger, the pig moves and Tim loses his opportunity.
What an amazing evening. We didn't see much, but this rather large pig came out from the right-hand side, and unfortunately at the same time, my ear defenders started beeping because they've been going for about 2 to 3 hours. They do that as standard. So this beast went flying back into the bush. Anyway, that's the way it is. A bit later on, we saw this really, really large male, and it was working up and down the fence line on our left-hand side for quite some time, and eventually came underneath the fence, and it was actually in the water for quite some time. And I think what happened, a cow or something must have spooked it. Anyway, it jumped out, and in the short and long of it is I got on it, we're ready to pull. I was ready to pull the trigger. As soon as I pulled the trigger, the animal just turned towards us and ran away. So it's just purely bad luck. If I just pulled the trigger half a second earlier, I would have shot it. But just as I pulled the trigger, it actually just turned away. Oof. And that was it. So that was a huge beast by the sounds of it, and so opportunity lost. So bit of a shame really, because we've been up for several hours and got very cold, and I missed. So that's hunting for you, I'm afraid.
The following morning we start scouting for a new spot. Gustavo calls Eduardo. He is a talented boar tracker. He has been hunting and guiding his whole life and is a great source of intel.
Any big ones in here?
Seems like
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. Yeah. And you can tell. I mean, can you tell if it's a male or female, or it's just a big?
so.
That's quite a big.
Yeah. I think maybe this is a male because the point of the track is rounded. Females are a little bit thin.
A bit pointed.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
point. This is a nice one, no? It's the same.
There are also trail cams to check.
There you go.
That's all the information they need to set up a new blind. As there are a few hours to kill, it's back to the farm for some of those famous Argentinian doves. The beauty of a place like this is that there is always something on offer.
Bloody parakeets.
This is really good fun.
Tim bags a few, and we're sure he won't mind us saying he's more rifle than shotgun. Back to the Boar. Last night the guys got caught out with the freezing temperatures. Not again. After a couple of hours of motionless, stealth-like observation, a young male approaches the small waterhole. Local opinion is that it's too small and they decide to leave it for another day. Then, at the edge of the bush, the pulsar picks up a sow and piglet keen to come in. The young male keeps them off. To our left, we hear a grunt. A large pig is heading towards the water. It mooches around, giving time for the guys to assess it. Then the boar gets spooked. Gustavo gives Tim the OK.
Wow. Look at it. Absolutely gorgeous. What a beautiful animal. It's so clean as well, look at it. That's rather just... I just find wild boar absolutely fascinating. I think they look so prehistoric in some ways, but they're so clever. And we were very lucky this time. This one kind of hung around for a fair bit, and we took it. But I think they are just most stunningly beautiful animals. It's so clean as well. Look at the colours of it. Yeah, so this is a typical kind of European wild boar, not a crossbred at all, but just a purebred wild pig. And you're absolutely gorgeous. So we've had to earn this one, and it's been absolutely brilliant fun. And I've fallen asleep a few times in the hide, just waiting to the moment to come along. And then this black thing comes across, and it's just pitch black. And tonight the moon's quite low, and it's not very bright at all, so it's not easy to pick them out. But it's just fascinating to see this black thing just wandering across down towards the water, eating away. You can hear it kind of just making all these funny noises, grunting and everything else. And it comes back out, looks around, drops back again. On this one, it came out. I think we may have spooked it a wee bit. It ran towards us, and it turned sideways, and I took the shot. So a perfect end to a lovely evening anyway. So I'm really pleased.
It's a nice-sized wild boar, and Tim adds another, very different Argentinian wild boar experience to his list.